Alright, okay, so here we are in the workshop. We're going to bench bleed a master cylinder. So before we do any form of bench bleeding, this was used. Before we do any form of bench bleeding, the first order of business, let us lock the master cylinder flange of the master cylinder in the bench vise. So we're going to lock it in the bench vise. Alright. Good. Then we already installed some pipes and adapters right here with the hose, and we're going to turn the hose in the reservoir. Then right here, tighten it, ensure there's no leak. We turn it in here. Alright, so the question is, why would you want to bench bleed the master cylinder? What need would you have to bench bleed a master cylinder? When you just overhaul a master cylinder, like in the previous video that I did that you would watch, how to overhaul a master cylinder, you'd want to know that the master cylinder is working properly. So you bench bleed the master cylinder. The next reason why you bench bleed the master cylinder is that you want to get out as maximum air out of the master cylinder as possible. So you want to make sure it's working efficiently or effectively, and you remove all the air within the master cylinder before you install it on the vehicle. So we have our pipes right here, and let me just pour our brake fluid in, and we're going to pour enough brake fluid to pass a maximum level of the reservoir. Maximum level of the reservoir. Where's the maximum level? So some level right here. I think this is a maximum level. Minimum, maximum. Alright, maximum level. And then we pour enough brake fluid in the reservoir. Then now we're going to turn the hose. Although these hoses are not transparent hose, we're going to inspect the brake fluid, and we're going to observe something. I'm going to use a screwdriver to actually pump. See it here? So the only tool I really need to use is a screwdriver to do the pumping of the master cylinder. So by pumping the master cylinder, observe the fluid. If we are seeing white or bubbles inside the brake fluid, that means there's air inside of it. Alright, so we're going to pump the master cylinder with our screwdriver. So observe. Do you notice that set of bubble that you see? Alright, let us pump again. And you notice the fluid level gone down because it is taking up the space inside the master cylinder. Alright, I don't know if you can see those fine bubbles. Can I zoom in a little more? I don't know if you can see those fine bubbles. If you notice, the color of the fluid is changing, and the reason why the color is changing is because there is air inside the fluid. That's why the color of the fluid is changing. There is air, and of course seems like there was water in this brake fluid. So air and water. But if you should look keenly, I don't know if you can see through the lens, you will see some white stuff floating on the top. Those are actually air particles floating on top of the brake fluid. That means air is in the system. I'm not seeing any external leak, so therefore let me pump and see if I can get it until it's clear. Yes. Whoa. Well, if you should look in the fluid, it seems a bit clearer. Yeah, seems a bit clearer. So basically that's a step on the procedure in bench bleeding a master cylinder. When a master cylinder is working properly, pay attention to the hose. When you actually press pump, no, the fluid is going to fly, so I want us to see when the fluid fly. When you actually press on the brake, the fluid is supposed to. See how powerful is that? See how powerful is that? See how powerful is that? So this fluid actually comes out of the hose. So the master cylinder, we know for sure it is working. because this is what you're not seeing when the hose is inside the reservoir. So this master cylinder is actually working. So that is the process of bench bleeding the master cylinder. This last activity was a demonstration purpose only. When you're bench bleeding a master cylinder, you don't need necessary to do this. I'm just showing you how powerful the master cylinder is. Alright, that's it.